Shalom, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, and Dabalana Suli, the apostles, the bishops, and brothers on the Knuckle Millstone. Salutations to the whole elect. This is your brother Rabbi Yamya, here to share another lesson. And boy, oh boy, the so-called African American, you Israelites, are one of the major factors that keep this place, Babylon going, man. Thank Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for the elect that wants to get up out of here, because if we were to depend on the majority of our people, especially you Israelite women, y'all would continue to build this place up, to continue to stay here on oppression. So as per the article, NBC News, it says black UAW workers say they're striking to keep the promise of a middle class life, right? So they're trying to keep the middle class alive, because as you all know, these higher ups, the elites, they are seeking to destroy the middle class, which is the sort of the bread and butter group of America that keep employment and certain riches. It's like the in between. It gives the poor hope of the reward of a comfortable life, through hard work, investments, so on and so forth. So the elites are seeking to only have the super rich and the super poor in these last days, which is going to happen. It doesn't matter how much protesting and stuff our people or the other nations do, which is going to happen. There are going to be more uproars of the people, because a protest is an uproar. Alright, so I'm going to just shut up and I'm going to read the article, share a few scriptures and close it out. So Lord willing, the lesson be edifying unto the elect. First portion of scripture I want to share is in the book of 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter, and verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest, that's Yahweh Yahushai, will visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? Notice that word uproar. I'll come back to it. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High speak of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So these things were prophesied to happen, even at the foundation of the earth. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works and effects, and endings in effects and signs. So one of the effects and signs of the endings of these times are uproars of the people. So when you go into that word uproar, it says an outbreak of disorder, revolt, commotion. Right? It says a tumult, a riot, literally is stirring up. So as you all see this image here, these people are stirred up. What are they stirred up by? Losing the privilege and comfort of the middle class, stirred up that their pay is not reaching as far as before. And they even said that health insurance cost is going to go up in 2024. I think this year and last year, 2022, a lot of people caught a break. The dentist visits, were less. So that was opportunity. And this year was an opportunity to get any cleanings and stuff done, to your mouth. But they say next year is going to go up even greater. So all these things lead to uproar of the people. Reading further down, it says a stirring motion, right? To move, to stir, to shake. So these people are shaking up. It says the meaning noisy shouting. So as you see, these people, they are not quiet. There is a noisy shaking, right? Some of them may have bullhorns, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. So that's pretty much the understanding of it. So it says black UAA workers say they are striking to keep the promise of a middle class life, says one union member for black people who have been held back in society. Building cars Slovakia was a way to have a great laugh. Members of the United Auto Workers attend a solidarity rally as the UAW strikes in Wayne, Michigan on Friday. Article was written by Curtis Brown. When Tiffany Simmons joined her father, now I may not read this whole article, I stop at a certain point, right? But the point is that they are seeking to save this place when it is going down. It is a ship that is sinking. So I'm going to stop at a certain point. But I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can further read the article. It says, when Tiffany Simmons joined her father for Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, she left knowing that one day she'd return to the Ford, Michigan plant and as an employee. She was 12, and as we all know, these plants, these assembly lines, they mimic. Before you had employee culture, you had slave culture. And the foundation for these plants were slave culture. It says, sure, she proclaimed Daddy's girl wanted to follow in her footsteps, but more crucially, she understood that her family lived a comfortable middle-class life as a black family in Detroit. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to live a comfortable life. We all do. We all desire great and royal things. And that's one of the reasons why Habashai left, to have a great place for us. Because if we stay here, we would be utterly destroyed. There would no flesh be saved. It says, my father supported an entire household with one paycheck, she said. But those days are over. And the thing is, all people, they trust in oppression. When you work in these places, you get back problems after a while, knee problems. The materials that you're working with, the hazardous conditions. And she want to go and work under those conditions when she could be a wife at home. But all people, they trust in oppression. Next portion of scripture is in Psalm chapter 62 and verse 10. It says, trust not in oppression. That is the part, you know what I'm saying? And be not comfortable, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not thy heart upon them. And all people have set their heart upon, these benefits, these different retirement packages. You remember that one Jake, y'all took my pension. And I mean, talking about he worked 30 years at the Yellow Trucking Company and lost a great deal of his pension. Why? Because they trust in oppression. This place is oppressive, man. They don't want to be free, and they are going to be the ones that is going to fight to take the MOTB in these lives. It's just to hold on to the hope of having a comfortable life. But that is not what Esau has in plan, for them. It says in 2012, after toiling part-time for 5 years, Simmons, now 38, joined the same Ford, Michigan plant as her dad, fulfilling a long-standing dream. That's a freaking nightmare, man. But things were not as she had hoped. See how people are stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? But things are not as she had hoped. Her plant in Wayne was one of the first three United Auto Workers sites to go on strike last week, along with the General Motors plant in Wentzville, Missouri, and the Stellantis Toledo assembly plant in Ohio. On Friday morning, UAW President Shawn Fain called for walkouts at 38 additional General Motors and Stellantis plants across 20 states. As as prospects loom that the walkout could last a while, concern grows for Simmons and other black UAW members that the middle-class life they came to appreciate as children and expected as adults is threatened. Right? So they are fighting to hold on to these things. But the elect, they are so tired of being here. They want to be relieved. They want to be removed from the society. And these same people, they experience that wickedness that the elect is experiencing on a day-to-day basis. They see it, right? But they ignore what is happening just to have a comfortable life. Or the Most High had blinded them, right? Because Scripture says the elect had obtained it and the rest were blinded. So these people are also blinded, by the magic and the trickery of Esau Edom and the promise of a bright future. So you don't want to be one of those, man. You don't want to be blinded. All right. It says the Simmons family resided in a home they owned. Both of their parents had cars. She recalls she and her three brothers did not want for much. I've been a Ford girl my entire life. I basically grew up in a plant, she said. Ford has paid for college, paid for braces for me, and much more. This is Isaiah, the 36th chapter, and the 6th verse. It says, Lo, thou trustest in the broken staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it, right? Because he put all his weight on it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So it fall in his hand and pierce him because of his weight on it. And these people have put all their weight in the benefits of the society. They have put their weight in the promise of wealth, and it's actually false wealth. It's not real money. So when the system crumbles, or when Esau pulls the rug up from under them, they will fall down with it, and they will be put to shame. So as all those that trusted in, Pharaoh of old time, those that trust in the system of Babylon, will fall and will be disappointed in these last days. So you see how the scripture is matching up with what is going on. Continuing on, it says Simmons, who is a production team leader at the plant and member of UAW Local 900, now has her own child. It is very sad that now that it's my daughter's turn to be a Ford baby. You see, this is a nigga woman, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, she probably saw her father complain at some point during his tenure, at these plants. You know what I mean? And as you all know, men, we kept back a lot of stuff. We don't say much. You understand? So he probably didn't explain the full picture to her. But she gone right back in, to work as a woman in this plant. And now she wants her daughter. So you see how this place would continue? The bullshit will continue and never end if the Lord allowed the nigga woman and Esau to remain in rulership in this place. To hell with this place, man. Right, it says it is very sad that now that it's my daughter's turn to be a fourth baby, her mama has to stand up and fight because they are not giving mama the same thing they did her papa. After World War II ended in the 1940s, black Americans found stable work and fair wages making cars uh, and auto auto industry jobs were unionized and paid well, allowing black auto workers to form a black labor aristocracy, according to a 2010 paper by Thomas J. Sergereau, a professor of history and sociology at the University of Pennsylvania. Work in auto plants provided an advancement for black people, and that's a byword, by the way, who had been disproportionately restricted to such jobs as domestic chauffeurs, custodians, and farm laborers, according to Sergereau's report. It says Simmons' three younger brothers were all recently hired at Ford. All four seek a path to financial stability in the same place where their father, on the cusp of retirement, flourished. But she and one of her brothers are on the picket lines. Her dad and two other brothers are working for now. It says everybody is in the fight and have their shoes on, ready to walk whenever the time comes. Simmons said, "That's the important part. It's not that we're the only ones that's doing the fighting. We just had to be the first on the front line." It says, but the battle is for better wages that the strikers say have not kept up with the time. That's everywhere, man. Union or non-union work. The union wants a 36% salary increase. It is also asking for a restoration of cost of living pay raises and an end to fluctuating tiers of wages for factory jobs. 32-hour work week with 40 hours of pay, and return of defined benefit pensions for new hires who now receive only retirement plans similar to 401k's pension, increases for retirees and other concerns. Meanwhile, you have a lot of companies. It has been now being commonplace to work for places where they have no more vacation days anymore. And these pay increases would have to be increased ever so often because inflation is always happening. You understand? Unless they project an ahead of time pay increase where it offset the rise in cost of living that is always happening. You know what I mean? Just as how gas would go up like $1 in a space of about a week and a half. You know what I'm saying? That's a big jump. You know what I'm saying? So these unions, it never really matches. When they do a projection over 5 years and you look at it, it's still less than what they're supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? This is a shame, man. We just need this place to go down, man. That's just it. Yeah, so no more fighting for this place, man. You would think that they'd be tired. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that, you know what I mean, you're supposed to work for nothing. But spiritually, man, they're supposed to be like tired of this place and say, look, we need a spiritual intervention. You know what I mean? In our life, man, I crap on the Lord to bring about a quick destruction of this place. So this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 9. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. So there's nothing that could be done to this place, man. You know what I'm saying? So we have to leave this place, mentally, spiritually, you know what I'm saying, and seek our power. You know what I mean? Because this place will be destroyed. This place is the altar of destruction, man. This is the place where that's going to be judged and destroyed. You understand? For bringing the Israelites over here to serve, captivity. And if these jakes and they that is protesting, doesn't get right, these jakes up here that is protesting, they're going to be destroyed and stuff. With this place, man. So that's it. I'm leave a link in the description. You see majority of our people, the young and the old, fighting to keep this place alive. You know what I mean? About the ball, man. This place is done. It's a wrap. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. Lord willing, I remember. So Lord willing, this quick lesson be edifying unto elect. Until the next time, shalom.